Oh no. Why are you itching now? Mr. Taze! Are you a psychic? How did you know? Oh my god. He was sensing it. I wanted to check something, I forgot. Brain empty. What did I want to check? Does it come back to me when I look here? I know. I remember what I wanted to check. Oh, wait, how's the... You can't really hear the music, can you? Where's the time? Did I put it in? Eh? No. How did you know? What a surprise to see you. What? Tell me. How did you know? How did you know? I just... Music seems like a good volume. Okay. How did you know that I was about to hit live? I'm so... Oh, shit. I gotta be careful now. I don't want to anger you. Or else you send something flying my way. Shit. Damn. I'm so baffled right now. Holy shit. Wait, I'm not prepared. With Steam Friends, I saw you. But Mr. Tease, a magician does not tell one's tricks. I see. I really thought for a second that you had like some gift in that field. I forgot to inform Batbies. Wait. Where's the EP hitting me now? I even showered. It shouldn't be there. Where do we post? Is it up? I guess I'll post it here. Stream. Live. Whoa. Right. Oh god. It's fine. Who needs grammar? I wanted to keep the mystery alive, but I also didn't want to freak you out. That is very considerate of you. Thank you. But even if you would have kept it, I think it would have, in more than freaked me out, it would have like left me, like, left with some childlike wonder, right? Like, oh my god, Mr. T is also a magician. He's a psychic. It's like he can make spoons bend. I don't know. How are you doing though, Mr. Tease? How are you doing? Oh, got a message. A second. I was talking about you earlier. I was thinking about Crusader and saying how much I wanted to play it afterwards. Wow! It's such a great game. I can highly recommend. Yes. If you ever want to try it out, or if you even got it, like maybe there's, you know, going a sale soon. Maybe, I don't know. I heard Steam goes on sale a couple of times a year, because that's when I got it, during a sale, and then it dusted in my library because I forgot. I got busy. But yeah, it's a great game. Oh, why are you in here? Cat! Oh god, a jump scare, wait. Cat, you're not supposed to be in here. Hello. Wanna say hi? You don't meow, but know. What are you doing? Little stinker. Get scared. For real. I was just so focused on my screen, and then in the left corner of my eye, it just spawns. My god. Okay, now I'm awake. Games getting dust is so relatable. Yeah. A couple of times Asa also gifted me like stuff when she has like codes to share, and those are dusted. I'm so sorry, like. It's very rarely that I get like games for myself. I'm very like picky in that sense because, you know, I want to spend my money carefully, especially on luxury like games. So there's very little instances where I'm like, oh hell yeah, throws money at game. One of those rare instances, for example, that I have on my wish list, is Fantasy Life. That's coming out next month, a couple days before my birthday. Yeah! I'm so excited. Time to go into depth. I'd be like, oh, this would be a great game for stream. And buy it and never play it. This is so real with cities, man. I have, you know how you can have categories on Steam? I have a whole category dedicated to stream and put games in there. And out of these games, I think I only played Cruiseneer and Potion Pyramid on stream. Like, I have a couple here, like the Spiritfarer, because I really liked that game, but I never finished it. Repo's on there. Remember the hype game that everyone's playing right now? My Child Lebensborn, stuff like that. Recently, I got. Did I get? I mean, I had Palworld for a while in my library. I don't remember. I think Asa gifted it to me. Again, I'm sorry, Asa. But yeah, I recently tried it out with my partner, and the holy shit, the brain rot was so strong these past 3 days. I was only playing Palworld. Help. I can't have more games, man. I need to finish the ones I started first. I haven't even like logged into Zenless for weeks, months at this point. Jesus. Zenless got completely thrown off the table when Monster Hunter dropped. Now I don't play Monster Hunter really that much, and then Power. But I should play Monster Hunter since the event is up, right? It should be up this weekend. Or starting this weekend. I got so smart, but I think it just reminded me how bad I am at committing. Yeah. That's pretty much the feeling you get out of this, Mr. Tews. I am not smart. I mean, maybe for some people that don't suffer ADHD and actually get shit done. But yeah, it's a good idea on paper, but the execution is the other issue, you know? Oh my god, Lady birthday? What day? I wanted to make a post about it too. It's actually a couple days before Dokumi. So my birthday is... Wait, I'll tell you a little something. We use this as warm-up. Oh, why are there white cheese on me? Did I spit on my tablet again? Why is there dirt? So... So, sorry for being radio silent. Getting this in. My birthday is on the 29th of May. And I definitely want to make a birthday stream like the last years, because I really enjoyed doing that. There you go, here's your day. Naja, nothing too special, you know, it's just any other day. I just really liked having a stream together, maybe playing some games with friends, you know, just having a good time. Because the last few years were really the only years I really celebrated my birthday. Yeah, like, celebrated is such a big word, but, you know, just like having a little day, you know, with some treats, but not like some big party or anything. Like, no. Writing that down right now. Are we ready? What? Don't spoil me too much. I will cry. Really. I'm like one of those individuals who is getting very anxious upon being perceived. And birthdays, for example, I don't know what it is about it, but I'm just like, all this attention now. I'm anxious. Count your days. Oh shit. Okay. I will be counting. But yeah, Fantasy Life is basically coming out on the 21st. That's when the game drops, and that's I definitely want to pre-order. I'm just waiting for, you know, money to come in. And this will be my big month purchase, and then I'm broke again. Then we can't afford anything for the rest of the month. But that's okay. Wait, I missed some things. Doing well, thank you. I was having a hell of a day, but tomorrow is the day off, so my weekend starts now. Let's go! Longer weekend? We'd love to see it. That's just, I think that's just, yeah. Holy shit, I really like Potion Pyramid. I should get back to it. Yeah, I haven't. A great example, I also haven't finished it. But it's such a cute game. It's like Cuisinier. I like these type of games where you have like two core elements. For Potion Pyramid, it was also like you have the, what's it called? The clinic part, apothecary. I don't know how to pronounce it. The you know, village doctor. You have like the part where you run your clinic and treat your patients, and you have the other part where you go outside, kill stuff, and gather materials for potions. I really like games where they have two elements and then they're like complementing each other. Like you need to do A in order to do B, right? And vice versa. So like, because then you also can get upgrades and gathering gets easier. These are the games, man, that are just like, next to farming games, they're my peak comfort games. So yeah. And yeah, I got Palworld on release. It was all I could think of for like a week straight. Oh my god. Is it the pure chaos we were going through those past 3 days? Like, we achieved so much, I feel like. We got like a huge ass base, and I was mainly, you know, when my partner was going out and catching pals, you know, getting stronger, doing fights, I was at the base constantly like renovating. I think can you make this space pretty? Maybe I'll show you another time when I get my PC to you know, function and stream it without lags. Maybe I show you the base if you guys want. If not, I can just take screenshots. But yeah, it's such a cool game. I really like the flow of that one as well. But it's like the little tasks where you like, oh, I'll do this, and then I do this, and oh, I need to do this in order to go and do this. You know, it's like it keeps getting you like occupied, or like keeps letting you feel like, okay, I need to be productive, I need to do this. And it's such a brain rot. Holy shit. We sat here the last 3 days up until like 3 a.m. playing this game. Like, oh no, our sleep schedules. But yeah. And most of the time, hubby was just like throwing everything into the boxes, and I was sorting it because he gets confused and he's like, I need my messy box. And I'm like, here's your messy box, just throw everything in there. It's okay. I just like things being organized, neat and tidy. Yeah. Blossom event is on now. I still haven't gotten. Yeah. I don't think I can go back to Monster Hunter now or today, but I will try and do some event stuff next week when I'm back, because I will actually be taking a break these couple days, going away from home, having a little mental breather, you know. And I will probably be gone till Sunday, but maybe even if I'm at my partner's place for these days, I will have my sketchbook with me. I will try to get some stuff done, some important stuff, also like, you know, boring adult stuff that nobody likes. And maybe he's gonna stream games, and you can hear me then there in the background talking German. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on the Discord anyways, you know. Yours is so pretty. I love that. Stop. I should show you the art I got for my birthday. Yeah, show me. All art is appreciated. Background lady? Oh. Background lady? Leaving forever, Sage? No, not leaving forever. I will be back in a couple days. You know. I just feel like with the new medication I'm trying out, I'm on week 2 now, right? This week is like the second week we're trying it. And while I am able, I mean, I said this while we stare on this canvas for like 20 minutes now, but I was able to get some stuff done, like in the terms of self-care. Like I was able to, you know, get up, eat, shower. I was able to do those things and even get some stuff done. But then there's like this little twist of, yeah, I was able to get things done, but maybe not the stuff that should be priority, you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden I started reorganizing my socials and shit, and updated everything, and like, oh my god, this is not what I should be focusing on. But yeah, meds, I guess, like they're working, but just not on focusing on the right thing. Man, and just a little bit of a, you know, fall back, or like not feeling so good the past days. So I hope having a little break, staying with, you know, the boy, the hubby, is maybe gonna do me some good mental wise, and I'll be back with some fresh energy. What is their Twitch so I can follow for games? Yes. Wait, can I give a shout out even if he isn't in chat? If not, I just grab the thing. Because he wants to start out with streaming and maybe see, you know, I mean, he's working a full-time job, so actually like having consistent streaming is a little bit hard, also because he himself also has like ADHD and you know how it is, energy levels and stuff. Here's the Twitch, but he likes streaming and he likes the whole concept of it, and he would like to just, you know, stream games in the future and have a good time. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll support you with that, you know. The only thing is that he's streaming in German, so if you don't mind the language barrier, or if you're already like bilingual like me, yeah, he's mostly gonna be talking in German. Maybe in the future English streams. I mean, his English though, before meeting me, he never really spoke English. But in this short time, where we were like having Discord hangouts, you know, with Asa as well, and him just being more exposed to it, he picked it up so quickly. Like, of course, he gets overwhelmed a couple of times, and he does that cute thing whenever he's like overwhelmed and he doesn't know or understand. He's just like, shut. So I'm like, yeah, I help you. So it's very cute. Followed base name, yes. His origin is also very cute for his nickname. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I looked to the. Oh, that is so cute. You invited to my birthday. Oh my god, yes, I love spelling birthday wrong. That is so cute. Thank you for showing me. Oh. Yeah, I'll definitely. Maybe we'll even do or add redeems, and I'll let you guys. I let you know, lovely guys, have your points spent for maybe a little Batbie design of your character. Maybe we do something like that. This was planned for today too, because Takao redeemed like the Ko-Fi tier, which includes a Batbie custom design, and I wanted to sketch that today, if we get it done. Yes. Okay. Writing that down. So cute. If you stream, I'll be there. Yeah. I'm very bad at organizing, so it will probably just me be asking a couple of my friends, be like, hey, do you wanna come and maybe we play some games together, like Repo or something, or I don't know, Gartic for maybe some games that are available for everyone. Nobody has to purchase, of course, because I think that would be fun, you know. And other than that, yeah, maybe some artin, some yapping, lots of yapping. Yeah, just having a good time. I'm probably I'm gonna try and stream the whole day. It's gonna be like on the 28th. So we'll probably attempt to stream till late. Maybe starting around midday and then till like evening, late night, maybe. Ice soup on the menu after the purchase. Yeah, man. Okay, it's on my calendar, so I won't forget. Oh no! That's not the calendar. No, I'll do that one last thing before going to bed. Mechanic is my biggest weakness. Oh my god. Please. It's like you do that thing, but then you're reminded of another thing. And like, okay, maybe this other thing too. But it's just a short thing. I can get this done quickly, but then you end up doing like 20 things. It's just like, no. It doesn't help that, at least for me, I don't know how it is for you, Mr. Tease, but late night is like my peak of productiveness. As soon as we hit night, my senses are on fire. That's why maybe streaming during the day is taking me a little bit, especially to get work done, because usually my productive hours are past 10 p.m. Like late at night, it's quiet, it's no sensory overload. I don't know, I just feel more comfortable at night. And for some reason, just the creative fuses hit more during that time. As soon as the sun goes down, I unlock my final form. Yeah! I don't know to what it is tied. Um, now, yeah, that's why I every time people try to be like, oh yeah, having a sleep schedule and stuff, going to bed before this and this o'clock would be nice. Like, okay, yeah, maybe for you, but me during the day gets so little shit done. Like, that's why I mainly focus my energy during the day if I have to take calls, or I have to write shit or send emails or whatever, because you can't do that at night. Especially taking calls. It's not a good time to, call someone. But yeah. That's why I keep usually all the arting at like late night, because that's when it hits. And yeah. I think this whole concept or like idea of, oh, well, waking up at like early hours and then going to bed at early hours to have an optimal routine, like that sounds nice and all, but some people are just not morning persons like me, or get shit done in the night. And I think as long as you get those hours of sleep you need, I don't think it matters when you go to bed or wake up, as long as you get your shit done. If you have a routine that fits to you, who cares if like other people have like different sleep schedules. Like I just always thought it was so weird if people brought it up like, oh yeah, but it would be good for you if you go to bed at this and this hour. Like, maybe for you, but not for me. Daytime tease is just so eepy. Very understandable. Very relatable. Let's get this bitch straight gun here. I wake up at 6:30 a.m. for work and it's the worst. Oh god, I can't imagine. Like, of course, one of the little perks of being unemployed is, having your own decision making on when to wake up and when to go to bed. I mean, of course, if you're a freelancer, you still have to have some sort of schedule because you need to get work done. That's just how it is. You're your own boss. You need to do your own work hours. Because that line between free time and being able to work, that's like blending in to each other. That's why I always advise artists to, like, I get like, oh, I can have my own schedule and I just draw for 10 hours and feel ashamed whenever I have my free time or I play games because I could be drawing. And I'm like, yeah, but that's the thing. That's maybe why you should be like, okay, I don't know, the usual workday is 8 hours, right? You can of course do more, but in moderation, because after all you still have to look after yourself. But you could be like, okay, I don't know, I start at 10 a.m. or 12 a.m. like me, have my 8 hours of work, and then after that I can do personal art or play games or just relax, stuff like that. And then in those work hours you actually get commissions done, you prep projects, etc. Everything freelance related in those hours, and then afterwards you take the free time, because you shouldn't be ashamed to take time for yourself. I know I struggled with it, and I know many of my friends struggle with it. Being like, oh, I can't relax, I should be doing art. No. And sometimes it still hits me, even if, like, for example, I took off like 1 or 2 days and didn't draw or do anything. I feel really shit. But then I'm like, I'm a person who functions best at a certain well-being. And if I don't feel well, for example, mental-wise, it reflects on my art. And most of the time I get frustrated and hate everything. So I'm like, okay, then I'll just, instead of putting that stress on me and trying to like butt head my way through it, I just try and do some relaxing, do some self-care, self-care in terms of eating, sleeping, taking a shower, like basic stuff. Because most of the time, we all just forget to eat, sleep, and drink. And to keep those things in check should come first, especially when you feel like irritated or having a rough day. Always go through the mental checklist. Have I eaten today? What have I eaten today? Did I drink enough? How many hours of sleep did I get? Like, all those things affect you very much in your work. And after the clinics day, I learned that I should go through this mental checklist, because most of the time when I feel irritated or I have low energy or I'm like feeling like the worst, it's usually tied to, oh, I haven't eaten today. Oh, I only drank like a glass. Oh, I have only slept 2 hours. Like, and then when you get those things done and you actually eat and sleep, you feel better. What? Of course, the execution is harder than just acknowledging it. But I think it's still, even if you struggle to get those things done, like me, and you have days where you just barely get any self-care done, only manage to do the bare minimum, that's okay too, Some days are just rougher. Just don't try to be too hard on yourself if you can stick to routines, or if you can't perform at your best every day. Like, that's just not how it goes. But still, like, you should attempt at least eating something. It doesn't need to be super healthy. Like, at least you ate something. At least something is in your system. It doesn't matter if you drink 2 liters of water or like 1 liter of, I don't know, some flavored drink, some juice. At least you drank something. Like, we always have like these things where, like, oh, you have to do this and this and this and this because only this is healthy. Like, yeah, I don't deny that, but for some people it's hard to do these things in general. So trying to go for like the littler goals is what we should focus on, because this whole idea of, it's same with art, right? It's same with everything. Let's say this is your starting point, right? This is your starting point, and here's your goal. Whatever that goal may be. It could be, oh, I drank 2 liters a day, or, oh, I don't know, I'm able to draw a full body now, whatever. I study. It's like another thing I learned at the clinic. Usually, we tend to see it in a one-way street, where it's like, okay, I start here and here's my goal. If I don't make it to the goal, like all the way, I failed. And even if I know, like, oh, I won't be able to make it, right? 2 liters a day, that's very much. Or, oh, just learning that specific drawing technique or study or whatever. Like, I'm not good enough. I'll wait till I'll be better at it. I'll just wait until I can manage to drink 2 liters. That's too big of a stretch. I can't do that. Instead of going all the way, oh, I drank 500 milliliters a day. Oh, today I drank a liter. It's like the baby steps. Same with art. Because I like to bring that self-reflection to myself, like reminding myself every now and then, like, oh, here's something I want to be able to draw, right? Like anatomy, I want to get better at anatomy, but oh, there's so much to do, there's so much to learn, I don't have time to study, or if I have to study, like, I can't wrap my head around it, because studying itself is hard for me. Like, I get very discouraged. But instead of like going all the way, like, oh, instantly like aiming for perfection, I could be like, oh, I practice arms today. Oh, I practiced legs today. You know, it's like the little things that gets done, which is exactly why I also set myself up for small goals instead of big goals. Because not fulfilling a big goal will feel more devastating than not reaching a small goal, right? So yeah, keeping reality check, trying not to be too hard to myself, and yeah, same goes for you guys. Don't be too hard on yourselves, okay? Life is already hard. It certainly isn't made for everyone, and there's not one way how to do it that is just working for everyone. It's important to find your own ways to approach things and do things, you know, so in a way where you feel fulfilled and you feel like it's healthy for you, instead of fitting into something that is set up by others with different conditions, different, you know, different characters, different personalities, different age, etc. Yeah. Relax in this economy. Yeah. That's like, holy shit. As soon as I broke free from the shackles of I need to fit in, I need to be like everyone else, otherwise there's something wrong with me. As soon as I threw that over the board, like, I'm doing so much better now. Like, yeah, I can acknowledge I have my struggles and that I'm just having a tougher time doing things due to my disabilities, but that's okay. Like, I still think I'm doing a good job at living. I may not be like your average person, and I have issues and struggles with certain things, but I get them done in my own time and speed. And as long as it gets done, who cares about, you know, the journey, how we got there? As long as you get shit done and you're able to work on your own terms, who dictates how you have to do shit? Like, no one. But yeah, I can relate to the time, Mr. T's, because at the years where I was like still employed, especially like the last 2 years, while doing a, you know, Ausbildung, like an educational job thing, I was working full time, and it was switching, since it was like it was retail, but like a grocery store, right? So the worst kind. And during those 2 years, I drew very little. I was at an all-time low, and just the whole thing of like getting up early, because, you know, and some may know, if you work in retail, you usually, at least in some areas, you have like morning shift and late shift. So morning shift, for me at least, usually meant showing up at 5 a.m., leaving at 1 p.m. versus late shift, where it was like show up at 2 p.m., go home at 9 p.m., basically. And this flip-flopping isn't really, like, now looking back at it, yes, I preferred the late shift, definitely. But like this flip-flopping between those two wasn't really good for me and my mental, because as much as it's hard to stick to routines, like having constantly changes, and having to readjust yourself to each day and each like work situation, like took a lot of energy. So usually I was already burned out when I came home. Maybe I was able to do the household, because I was also left with that doing that alone, like the chores, doing that. Maybe if I'm able, like the house or the apartment did not look good at all. Because I was just too tired from work because it was taking up all my energy. So most of the time I just ate something and went to sleep. Done. And I got very little art done. But when I left, like I had this whole burnout, right? At the beginning of the third year, technically. I had this whole burnout. And it really broke me. That was the first time I saw a therapist again in like a decade. And that's where it started to get like my diagnosis and stuff, right? Before that, I didn't know any about that. I just thought I was lazy. I just thought I'm just a little, a little daydreamer, a little hard to manage, just a little emotional, all those things. And yeah, looking back at it, I'm a little terrified to go back into like the real world with a real job. As much as I'd like to, but I also know that for people like me, if you don't fit right into this image that is just given by society, if you don't fit into that image and you bring certain stuff to the table, like disabilities, you mostly like to look upon like as difficult, or oh, we're not hiring you because you have these conditions. Like at my at my job interview I got before going to retail, I was actually mentioning like that one thing that I knew about. Like I didn't know about like the whole mental stuff, right? That was still before. And I did mention to them in the job interview, like, oh well, I have this condition where actually it's called hüftdysplasie. I don't know the English term, but it's basically means that since birth, one of my legs is shorter than the other. It's barely noticeable, like it's not like a huge difference, but technically I should need I need to wear like soles for my shoes, like special soles, where one of them is like more elevated, right? So it helps with my hip, because you can imagine if you keep walking around with like your hip not being straight and like being a little slightly disaligned, it causes you to have, back pain, hip pain. It's just general unpleasant feelings. And due to those things, even if I would wear the soles, I am not able to stand or sit for a broad amount of hours. Like I need some switchery. Like I cannot stand for 8 hours, but I can also not sit for 8 hours, because it's just gonna start to hurt my hip. And I mentioned it to them, like, being in retail, I was like, oh well, it would be kind of nice if I could have a little bit of, switcheroo, like not just sitting at the cash register for 8 hours, but also like being able to move around, like a little two-wheeled thing, right? So I don't have to just do cash register, or just don't have to do like running around in the store. And the attitude I got, or the response I got, was something along the lines like, oh, yeah, I don't know if you should mention that, because how this is not gonna put a good light on you in a job interview. And I'm just sitting there like, what do you mean not a good light? I'm telling you about a condition that is affecting my physical health, and you're just like, oh yeah, don't mention that because that could look bad in a job interview. Like, what? Are you insane? I'm telling you about these disabilities that I am experiencing physical pain, and you're like, oh yeah, but that doesn't look good on paper. I'm like, okay. So you want me to lie about that? And then when I come back with health issues, you're gonna be all surprised, like, oh, we didn't know? Like, what is... Man, this is what I don't get. And apparently, I learned that yesterday. Apparently that's like a thing, that people lie on job interviews. What? How? Maybe I'm too neurodivergent for this shit, but I don't understand the point in lying in a job interview, because that shit's gonna be coming back to hunt your ass, no? Like, if you're just like throwing stuff into the room without you being able to prove that, or without, like, you know, it being true, why would you do that? Like, is that the norm, that people lie to get jobs because they need to? Man. What the fuck? No wonder we are fucked. Hey, let me select the Batbies real quick. I think we did emotes of them. I definitely want to change your guys' design with my redesign as well. You're also gonna get a little upgrade. Because right now, there isn't really like a specific design for the Batbies. It's just like a bat I draw. Like with references, or with like little characteristics of a Draco from Dragon Quest. Or Draki. Right? That's just what I draw. But there's no specific, like, cool, unique design to it. It's just a basic bitch bat. But I think we could do better, you know? I think we can definitely make something cool for you guys. Cool design. Hello, welcome. I'm sorry for the rant. Oh my god, the yapping is strong today, guys. The yapping. Wait, can I get rid of my hat? Oh, wrong. There we go. I love mascot characters. I need to do more of mine. Yes! Oh my god. I love designing them. I definitely, for the design we're also working on, that's not my design. I also want to try and do mascot design, because I really like drawing silly creatures. And maybe we could add that as a service later on, because I really enjoy that. You know, having like cute little fitting to the design stuff. So one artist I really like for like mascot designs is Reggie Chiffon. If you know her, she's like a doll character. I don't think she's a VTuber yet. She's an artist with her persona being like a little doll, which, oh my god, I love her design. It's so cute. Holy shit. Already on her design, peak creativity. But the mascot designs she draws, like, holy shit. If you guys have seen her buttons, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, look at this. This is just genius. I love it. It's okay, lol. No, I'm sorry. I want a mascot too. That's so fun to have one. Yeah, and I think it's like, I just think it's very charming, especially if you want to, for example, have emotes for chat. You know, so it's more like, I really like having Letty emotes, don't get me wrong, but I also, you know, would like to give you guys some emotes so you can express your emotions instead of just having little old me, you know, there. I just think that's very cute. Same with, like, if you want to get art done, you can incorporate, like, you know, little mascots. And what I really like too, which I've seen done by Raura, I mean, former uni, right? Dia and Tina. I think Momotex too is having like custom designs of the mascot for members, you know, who, I don't know, have enough points and spend the points, or maybe as rewards. And I love that they bring, like, you have the base mascot, but you change some aspects to it to make it so unique, and I love it, man. Have you seen Lobotomy Bunny? She's also a doll bunny and she looks so good. Oh, wait. I need to check. I always love to find new cool artists and designs. Oh my goodness. She looks so cute. The bun plush with the nail. Oh my goodness. Wait, is that art from... Okay, I think it's not. The art style reminded me a little bit of Lavender Town for a second. But I don't think it is. Oh my god, it's so cute. I love that style. Can we just appreciate more stylized VTubers, man? Or designs? And like I really love, you know, the general aesthetic and style we go for, and there's no shame to that. But there's something about like those uniquely styled VTubers or designs that just they're just so memorable and starstruck. Like a couple weeks ago, I found someone on my For You page, a VTuber, that has their whole VTuber model set up by clay, like it's stop motion. And that is so insane to me. Like, maybe because I also don't understand Life 2D. For me, it's witchcraft. Like, the possibilities you could do with Life 2D, right? That's just insane. Same with like horror VTubers, right? Like when they have very like gory designs, like I love it, man. Oh, what you said? My mascot? His name is Bookbug. Oh my god, I love Bookbug. Oh, he's like a little deer and the little it's. I love the ghosty elements to it, right? Like or not ghost, like magical elements. I don't know how to describe it, but it's so cute. Exactly stuff like that, man. That is so cool. I definitely want to. I mean, I think I made it a post about it on Blue Sky. There's so much I want to focus on and get my shit together. Like the redesign is one of the things, of course. And I'm still a little torn to if I should actually change branding to make it fit more. I had this conversation with Asa yesterday because sometimes, you know, I don't know if it's my borderline, just having the urge to constantly change things and never sticking to one thing, right? Because in this decade of me doing art, I changed my username in total of 3 times. Three times, right? But it also includes like, you know, way past when I was first starting out and we all had those cringy emails, you know, that we only use for spam email now. Like, very cringy era. Gotta go, coming back later. Okay, I will take care. Have a good time. I'm sorry for being such a yapper. Letty giving art class such an honor. No. I think we should add like a study stream or hangouts on Discord. I think that would be cool. You know? But yeah, thank you for coming here and hanging out. You're much appreciated. What was I talking about again? Fuck. I lost my string. Jumping. Talking about goals. Okay. Talking about... I think... Okay, I don't remember where I left off. Basically, like, those goals I set to myself that I want to work on this year, next year, in the future, you know, also upping my game, because as you... username! I was at username! Okay. Sorry. No, it's okay, Mr. T's. Both of our brains are smooth. Username. And I had those names, like, whenever I changed my username, I was like, oh, it's just a placeholder, because, you know, the last one wasn't professional enough, and I want to one day have a branding where I identify myself with, and I feel comfortable with, and I just, you know, I just vibe with. So I made placeholder names, because I just never liked the previous username, because it was cringe, or either it was, like, connected to some bad memories and experiences, some bad people. When I changed it. And when I got Lefia Babette, right, back in 2022, holy shit, that's already 3 years. When I looked for this name, I was browsing through name generators and stuff, because by the love of God, all this creativity that's bestowed upon me, I completely lose it when it comes to names and character lore. Like, in terms of writing, right? Everything that has to do with letters. Maybe that's why I hated typography. But everything that has to do with letters, you can hunt me with that shit. Like, I'm become the dumbest log out there. Like, all creativity leaves me, and I'm just dumbfounded. Even when naming my OCs back in the day, it was mostly just name generator, or just random names that have no meaning, really. Or no background. I'm like, yeah, that feels like her. Okay. Like, okay, and Lefia Babette, I wanted to go for something that fits the theme, you know, of the 16th century bat, having that same, like, background, like an old name, maybe with some meaning behind it, and just overall sounding cool. And during that time, I was also mainly, partially thinking of it as, like, my VTuber name, which is nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. But now I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should have gone more for one that's, like, focusing on me as an artist instead of a VTuber, because after all, we do more art than anything else. It's, like, the core element. And just overall, I really like how... I really like how creative some people are with their usernames. Especially in the VTuber community that are also artists. I really like how short and witty and memorable they are. Like, they have a nice ring to it, they're easy to remember. Also optimized for, like, you know, search engine results and stuff. And especially I love it when they have little word plays in it. Now looking at it, I was like, I don't know. Maybe going for something like that. But then again, thinking. I know we have, like, people who offer, like, writing lores and stuff, but can we also have maybe some services that offer helping with finding a brand and names? Please. Like, maybe even something that I could turn into, like, a cute logo or even, like, watermark, right? There's so many thoughts to this I have, which even make me drift apart more from the whole Lefia Babette thing. Like, I know a lot of you guys like the name, and I don't really have anything against it. I know it would be not very smart to change brand, people getting used to new stuff. So yeah, I'm thinking about keeping maybe Lefia as a name, but changing Babette in some way.
So I threw my alarm clock out of my second-story window just to watch it fall straight to the ground and shatter to pieces. Make a guy wonder why folks say time flies.
What? Welcome to the chat, Redless Snake Outlaw. Welcome. Thank you for this contribution. I will think about this during my nightly brain rot now. That's a good question. Like, where do these things come from? Where do these things come from?
Dang, I made a belt out of watches, but I realized it's just a waste of time.
God dang it. I don't know how to respond to that. I see how it is. Tickling the funny pickle. I see. Thank you for the biddies, though.
Amanda salted me with milk. How dare he?
Oh God, no, you didn't. How dare you? Get out of here. No, thank you for these wonderful contributions. I wish I was that funny, man. But I only have the trauma to talk about, you know. But don't mention it in front of your therapist. They're gonna start writing it down, and then before you know it, you're gonna end up in the clinic. Yes, cringe emails. I have one that still gets used sometimes. Yeah, I only have my cringe email that I made back in 2010. I still use that one for signing up everywhere. And the spam emails and everything else, like for, I don't know, adult stuff, like more real life stuff, you know. I use my professional email, and then I have a separate email for Lefia as well, for like the whole, you know, regen, Ko-Fi, whatever. So 3 emails in total. It was never meant to be used much. It was also placeholder.
Tried to catch the fog this morning. I missed.
Hell yeah, keep them coming. Thank you for the biddies. Man, they sound so much more funnier in English, right? Like just puns, like word puns. But in German, you couldn't do that. In German, they're just so not funny. I'm sorry. But yeah, in English, they hit different, man. That's why English jokes maybe hit different too, and memes. Because whenever I see German meme or joke, I'm like, no. My OC has a name, but I'm scared if I change my username, no one will recognize me, Lamau. Yeah, that's a good call and reasonable worry. I mean, I can. Of course, I'm not gonna say like this or this is like the right way to go about this. As much as I can understand being afraid to change, I think your gut feeling should still come first. Like if you don't vibe with something or you don't identify with something, why not change it to something you feel more represented with? You know what I mean? Like you could still, you know, make an announcement, a general post saying like, oh, heads up, I changed my username, my branding. You can bring it up whenever you chat again somewhere, like, hey, this is Mr. T's, former Mr. T's. I changed my branding recently, just so you know. Like, yeah, of course, it's gonna take some time, definitely, and you might have to explain yourself a couple times, because when people have to get used to it. That's how I also had to do when I changed my username to Lefia, because I made a post about it, and at the beginning some people were still confused and they were calling me still by like the nickname of the first username, which this is fine. Like I told them like it's fine. I don't expect anyone to, you know, remember right away or get accustomed to it right away. Just a heads up that for me personally, or for my brand, or for my services, I want to be called this. Or if you want to look for me, you need to search up this name. But yeah, I don't think it didn't take that long, because after some time, people got used to it. Yeah. And me too. And I remember very much the first time people called me Letty or Fia or Letia. There was like this feeling of, man, I felt like, because some may not know, but I don't really feel really addressed by my real name. Like, I don't know, I just don't feel like I don't mind my real life name, but at the same time, I just don't feel like it's me. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a little bit of dissociation here, but I just always felt more like me with my art persona, and people addressing me through that. So yeah, that's pretty much then what I sticked with. And for the post, I can, if you want, I can show you. I think I still have it around. I am doing good today, actually. The meds are doing the thing. We haven't reached breakdown yet. Last couple days have been a bit rough, but we're managing. How are you, though? Witchy! It's my wife! Witchy! Are you okay with being called Letty? Yeah, I'm okay with being called Letty. Of course. How are you doing, Witchy? Everyone, check out Witchy. Wait, I'll grab the socials. Witchy, are you still doing commissions? Are your commissions still open? Hold on. Oh, no. but I'll share. Guys, check out my wonderful wife, Witchy, okay? She's a cracked artist. If you want, I can show you some of her work, because I still have it saved and framed in my files. Class right now, but open again soon. I'm so sorry, Witchy. I am broke as fuck. Otherwise, I would have ordered a sketch, because holy shit. Though your art... I still have that piece you drew of my OC. That's also like dusted. I need to real life some of them, man. I still have that, and I cherish all the sketches, even the sketches you drew of me, little me. Like, I slowly started posting everything in the Instagram stories for like the fan arts, the Letty arts, posting them chronologically even, and linking the artist, of course. And while I was looking through it, I was just like, oh my god, so much witchy art. Oh my god, I love. Wow. Noise, it'd be hard out there. Yeah, but we'll manage. I feel very inspired every time I see your art, so we'll manage. Before I lose track, let me just show you quick. Mr. Cheese, I don't know if you're still here. This is, for example, the post I made, like the very short post. It's like not too fancy. It's like made in 2021. But that's basically the post I made. It was just like having both characters, you know, saying like, oh, I changed to now Lefia. If you didn't know, yeah, that was me before. And this was like the thing attached to it. Like, as you probably noticed, I rebranded my username on Twitter, Discord, Twitch. Due to my debut coming closer and Kali's redesign in general, I wanted to finally take the chance and move on from this username to something new, since it was meant to be a placeholder in the first place too, like all my usernames. The changes, however, only affect the username, not the content I make. It's not a must to address me differently. If it's still more easy for you, I still appreciate the effort, but I prefer it during collabs or regarding tagging me for art to address me by my new name, please. You can call me Lafia, Letty, or Babette. Any other nicknames you have for me? That was basically like the short post I made back then, announcing like the username, and I think I don't know, it was going pretty well. Like people didn't mind or were like mad about it or like, oh, why did you try to, you know? Pretty much everyone who sticked around anyway and who wanted to be like updated with my stuff got notice of it. Sometimes we still have like the conversations, like example in my friend group, when they're like, yeah, remember the times of when you still were you know, at this and this, and I was like, yeah. You know, it still brings up, but I think I can only say what people said to me, what like my, you know, close ones said to me when I was you know, throwing that thought out of rebranding, and everyone was like, yeah, we don't really mind. You do you, what feels best for you. If you feel more, you know, if you feel more comfortable with a name change or more identify more with it, then go for it. Like, people who already like are sticking around and watching are like regulars, they will notice, right? They will adapt to it, and I think there's no like harm to it, so to say. Like, yeah, many will be like, oh, well, why did you don't need to, your brand, you like, okay, but then again, example for me, when I post art, I don't think that it's my username that people like if they see my art style, they should be able to recognize that it's me, right? Even with a different username, right? I don't know. Maybe that's just my 2 cents. But yeah, just this whole thing is giving me a headache. I was having a conversation with Asa about it yesterday. Mostly because maybe I was just splitting and having some how to say, some mental breakdown in a way, but in a quiet way, not like fully bawling my eyes out, but just like feeling very exhausted and irritated. Whoops. I also still figuring out what side symptoms are coming from the meds and which are just like you know, being affected more by them, and trying to difference that. I was talking to her about it and how that I think that it's maybe my you know, borderline coming through and just not identifying with something for a long time and just feeling the constant urge to change. I don't know. Identity crisis happening, I guess. Once again, every couple of years, it just comes out of nowhere. But yeah, at the moment, I don't really have any new name or something like that where I'm like, oh yeah, I would change into that. Like, again, I'm really bad with names, and I wish there was like a service out there that could help with that, because as creative as I am with art, I am not with in that regard. But I think I would very much like to do that somewhat in the future, maybe with the redesign, because that's where I guess it would make more sense. You know, entering a new era with a new design and stuff, and all that shtick. But yeah, at the same time, just the whole process and thinking about it, and then having to change it everywhere, and making sure I change it everywhere, And not forgetting, like, yeah. It certainly has its headache moments. And if you get easily overwhelmed, like me, I think it's definitely something that needs some thinking time. And maybe doing a pro and contra list and really thinking, like, do I really want this? Is it, like, putting more stress onto me? Or is it going to be worth in the end? You know, kind of those things. And then maybe also having different opinions gathered, and maybe even help from others, you know, who can help you with that. Yeah. Sending out, you know. Wait! I forgot to show. Oh my god. I was going on ramble. Is it in gift art? No, I knew I had it on my phone. Oh god, no, wait, that's me still. Where is it? I still haven't saved all of them to my Puder. I need to do that. Shit. I don't have it. No. But I have it on the Instagram story. Wait. I'll pull it up. Just for you. I hope it copies the exact story then. If I... Does it change? I'll look for it. Wait. Look at that! Ah! Look! Oh! Mwah. Beautiful art. Look at that. Oh, was that still the old design? Yeah, the little hair tie. Whoops. But it's still so pretty, man. Oh, Witchy, I love your art. Really, I cannot put it into words that are worthy what I feel. Man. Wait, don't I have another? Oh yeah, I still have the smoochie. Smoochie. Yeah. Oh, there's another one. Look. How can you not love this art? Look at the fucking peepers. Look. Oh. So good. I cry. If you guys wanna see all of it, here's the Instagram story link. I'm slowly updating my Instagram, keeping it, up to date and adding all the art, because I'm so bad. I need to do like a checklist that I know whenever I do something like art, like, okay, post it here. If it's for Ko-Fi, here. A little checklist so I don't forget, because what happens is I do forget, and then I'm like, oh shit, I haven't posted art in like month. And then there's like this dump of art happening. Like, sorry guys, I forgot. Here's 20 new posts. DMs. Oh, DMs? Wait. Oh, updated the face more. Oh my god. Witchy. Oh, you even updated it to the new design. Oh my god. Okay. How do you draw hands, Bear? And the faces. I cannot. Words cannot describe how I feel about witchy art, man. Oh my god, the first one. Oh god, wait, no. Holy shit, wait. Look at that! What do you mean? Oh, the pose and everything. Oh my goodness, the kiwi! Holy moly! Oh my goodness, oh my god, I love everything, man. The whole way you draw composition, even in your sketch commissions. I just love the way you put characters into poses and their expressions. Like, it fits so well. And I'm just like in awe Man, it's like you really know how to put them in how to display the character. You know what I mean? Do it make sense? I don't know. You're the little bats up there. Witchy, if I get a tattoo, another tattoo, could I maybe use your art for tattoo? Cause this, for example, I can see that on my arm. Or maybe my thigh. My arm is very thin. I don't know if it would fit there. But on my thigh, or even better, between the cheekers. So when you spread it, you are greeted by the holy Letty. You know? Witchy tattoo would go so hard. Exactly. What do you mean if yours is goofy? Yeah, it is. It very much is. Holy shit. What do you mean? I can 100% see your art being used for tattoos. Or like looking good as tattoos. Because you just have that beautiful aura about them. Same with your like line weight and stuff. Like your lining style. They would hit so hard. What do you mean? Tattoos of Letty. Oh, yes. But maybe I do. Okay, maybe it sounds a little cringe. Okay. But I really want longtime friends. I want to get a tattoo where I have like little silly versions of them. Maybe like somewhere around, like holding hands or in a circle. I really want to get that of like my very, very close friends that I know for years. Witchy being one of them, of course. And I think that would be cute, you know? Or even having some elements to it. Yeah. I mentioned it before in Lav's birthday stream, Witchy. And I feel like I want to make a post about it too, making a little art. Because I'm best expressing my shit with art. I really do feel bad for being such a bad friend. And hear me out, okay? Hear me out before you shout at me. I know that most of the stuff, there's nothing I can do about it due to my shit happening, my conditions. Like being very forgetful and scattered brained. Not, having like that missing object permanency. Same with like people. Like if I don't be reminded of them or if I don't see them physically, like I tend to forget, or even not reading social cues, or staying up to date basically. And I don't want any of you guys to feel like I don't care about you, or I'm not interested in staying, in touch with you guys, because I very much do. I'm just very bad at socializing. And I know we all have our issues, we all are busy and stuff, but I had this moment too when I was like browsing through my Twitter on a random night, and I was feeling a little emotional, maybe because of Matt's. I was feeling a little emotional looking at like times where maybe life wasn't as stressful and our only worries were like, I don't know, going to school or uni. And nowadays it feels like a lot of us have like gone their own ways and living their own life and being busy at life, and that's okay. That's just how life goes. There's just this little child in me still who's really missing those times where there was like a lot of interaction and a lot of exchange and even doodles. And I do still feel bad that I am not able to do response duels constantly as I used to, because I really like doing these. And yeah, just maybe I just get lonely sometimes. And I know very much that it's my own fault for not staying in touch or not messaging as much, because social batteries. But I still very much appreciate and love all of my friends, and I deeply care about you. And even if you don't see me, I am watching quietly in the shadows, and I try my best to comment more, to be more in DMs. I'm very sorry, even when I forget to reply or something, like when you message me and I don't reply. Most case scenarios is either I already replied in my head and I thought I did in chat, or I got completely sidetracked and distracted, and again the object permanency is not kicking in. Just like I need to be reminded of it. It's really exhausted with everyday things too, but yeah, sometimes I just feel like I could have done a better job at being a friend, or maybe even, I don't know, maybe it's my fault for like holding onto older times a little bit too much. I still need to let go of my old self too, being able to get so much shit done, and stop comparing myself to my performances back then. Because I know shit happened and things changed me to another person. That doesn't mean that I'm less worthy of a person or worse. I'm just different. And that's okay. But I can't help but mourn those times a little bit, you know. But I definitely try to stop comparing, because that's not fair. Again, against myself. Yeah. Little deep talk. Sorry, we don't get anything done. See, this is what I mean. Even with meds, I can get shit done. Sorry, that had to get out. I've been carrying this for a couple weeks now. And I do still want to make a post about it, because I also think for weeks, months even, about making a post, doing a little art, apologizing for it. Because just making a post with just text, I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Same with like writing a message to someone and not adding emojis. I'm sorry, I can't. I need to express my emotions with emotes. If it's just text, it sounds so dry and soulless, and I'm just too scared that it comes off in a different way. The fear of being misunderstood or expressing myself wrongly. Because I definitely did lose people, friendships even, of, exactly those things. And yeah, a lot of times also like not being able to express things very well. I'm sorry, especially in English, it's very hard, but even in German, I fuck up, like, you know what I mean? Where maybe because I'm very direct, right? I'm like very autistic coded. I don't have, like, social cues don't work on me. I can show empathy and I can, like, cheer up and everything, but I'm also very blunt, and say things that maybe people could pick up wrong, or maybe feel like I'm insensitive for saying that, or I don't know, I should mind my own business, whatever, right? And I had posted on the private friend survey where I was addressing that if I ever say something or do something that is hurting you, that hurt your feelings, please tell me. Because as much as that doesn't excuse that your feelings were hurt, I also want you guys to communicate with me so I can learn from this. So I know the next time, okay, I should not mention this or that or say this or that because it could hurt you. But I need very open communication. I need very direct communication. Not even like saying it through the flower or anything, because that's not gonna hit me. Okay, that's it's not gonna reach my brain if you put it into too much of flowery words. You can be very direct with me. You don't need to be scared to hurt my feelings, because I also heard that argument since forever that people try to protect my feelings and not tell me shit. Or like their honest opinion or how they feel about things. And I am more hurt when you do that stuff than rather when you like be completely honest with me. You can be blunt. I don't mind. I very much welcome you guys voicing out your every single thought and opinion. Same with like clients on commissions. Please, you can always be very direct with me if you don't like something about the commission. I don't mind. You're not hurting my feelings or anything. After all, it's your commission, and I want to make sure you are happy with that commission, right? It's not about whether or not you are pleasing my feelings, You're pushing my ego. Like, no, that's nothing about that. Like, even if you're not happy after the first 1 or 2 revisions or coming back, but please say it. And I mean that for like all like commissions, even if you commission someone else. I think transparency is very important during those business constellations, because it's very much a codependency between artists and clients. And a lot of like frustration and hate and just beef and whatever, drama, what you want to call it on artist Twitter, could be very much solved with like open communication and just like talking things out, instead of just like not saying anything and then just U-turn, doing the boomerang, coming back and then be angry about it. Like, then please say something from the start before people put work into it, because that's just wasted time. Even if you wanted to, not make a fuss or anything, it's still like wasted time on the artist's end and on your end, because you had to wait for it with something you are not happy with. Yeah, and just things like that. I also experienced, that's why also with like bigger commissions and stuff, I became very wary, because I had my 1 or 2 shares of like these type of scenarios where there wasn't anything communicated, but later it was held against me, saying like it was for protecting my feelings that I got lied to, and because they didn't want to hurt my feelings and everything. And like, okay, but saying like, oh, but I did this for you. Like, I never asked for this. First of all, I always say you can be very much transparent if you don't like things, or if you are having a deadline or anything. You can be very transparent with me. But if you are not, I cannot read your mind. And especially, again, like the social cues don't work. You need to tell directly if you're unhappy with something, or if, I don't know, you suddenly have like a deadline, for example. You need to communicate that and not be like, oh, well, I canceled the commission. It's okay. I don't got my thing. Like, because that is just like, you are left with very unpleasant emotions and anger that could have easily been solved if you would have just communicated, right? And that's just my 2 cents. I know there's this whole discussion too on Twitter with like,
My back.
oh, sorry. There's this whole discussion on Twitter for the past weeks of like, artists' TOS and commercial fees and yada yada. I also want to change my TOS, like adjust it a little bit, actually like very clearly listing what falls under commercial use and what not. Usually I have it in my TOS that commercial fees are plus 50 to 100%, depending on what is done, 50% to 100% of the price, like on top. But that only includes stuff that is directly gaining you profit, right? Basically marketable stuff like merch, like, I don't know, if you want designs you want to print out and take to conventions, stickers, keychains, stuff that you put in your merch store, for example. It's also not cool to take the art you commissioned or even free art and put it into your merch store without asking for consent, because you're making profit of something that was not discussed before. But that's another topic. And other than that, this whole thing about VTubers, VTuber models, overlays, alerts, panels, I think all of these, at least for me, the commercial fee is already included in the price. But I will change my TOS to state that more clearly, because I heard that people would like more transparency on it, and that's all there is to it. I've seen arguments saying like, oh, people are like going after artists' throat and attacking them and whatnot. Like, from what I picked up, this whole discussion was just clients asking for more transparency in the TOS, because they got surprised with commercial fees or additional cost during the commission that was not specified, right? It was not mentioned anywhere or they just happened. And that's what people were upset about. That's what I picked up. And that's very much a good reason to be upset about, if you ask me. If you want to purchase something and then all of a sudden there's additional cost coming out of nowhere that wasn't talked about before, yeah, of course, that's upsetting. If you want an up price or like an additional cost for like commercial fee, you should state that in your commissions. Dot. Like, end of the sentence. That there's no that I don't know why it's such a big thing. Why it turned into such a two fronts building, right? I don't know why. Like, yes, artists are very much in the right to charge commercial fee for what they want. Nobody is saying anything different about that, or nobody is like saying like, no, you can't do that. Artists very much can charge what they want, what they feel like they want to, offer their art to. It's just the transparency aspect. Just mention it in your commission services on VGen, like in the listings of the pricing. Just add at the, underneath the pricing, just add, plus so-and-so %, euro, whatever, commercial fee. Because then people know. There's no issue about that. I don't understand why there's a whole debate going on again. Yeah. Welcome, Kite Rock. Thank you for the drink and stretch. Wow, sorry. I catch up. Oh, you don't talk about our lady like that. No. If only you knew how this Letty views herself. Still very harsh about a lot of things to myself, but I have to keep reminding myself of who I am mad at when I'm mad at myself, because there's just this little fragile child inside me that just didn't know better, or just wasn't taught these things while growing up. Like, that's just life, Oh, jeez. That's just how it is. And you should not be feeling ashamed for the past, especially if you didn't know better or you didn't have the knowledge you have now. Yeah, it's still hard. Oh. Again, I don't know if there will ever be a time where I will not self-loathe myself, because again, I have PPD. But you just have these ups and downs and just have more intense emotions. That's just what you were born with. Just the unhealthy part comes by trauma. You know? Thank you for the follow. Dorito. Oh my god, crunchy. But yeah. If I can, in some degree, make peace with it, and maybe even like, spreading some of my experiences. And just like Maria said, my tattoo artist, we talk a lot about mental health during the tattoo sessions. It's like deep talks 90% while she's like slapping sick designs on my arms. And we just talk a lot, and she also has her history, and she's like, well, Letty, even though I count as, therapied by 2 therapists, basically meaning like, oh, they teach you everything and they don't see a reason why, like, everything. There's not much we can talk about anymore. And she was like, even though I count as that, and I still feel like I have fallbacks and stuff and still not feel, 100% happy with life. I'm glad I can share my experiences with you and maybe even help you find some directions on where to get help and how to process things. Because that's just how she moved on from these things. Like, yeah, she's still not, cured. I mean, there's no cure for some things. But she tries to find positivity in having that knowledge and having those experiences and sharing them with others and maybe helping them who just started, getting more into that stuff to help. And I found that very chivalrous, I found that very, very nice. And I also want to do that. Still a very much, how do you say, still very much, resilient, is that the word? Still like scared to share a lot, because I don't, too much personal information should not be shared on social media in general. Same with like emotional tweets and stuff. Like, I would advise you to refer from that or sharing too much sensitive information, because it can always be used against you. But yeah, just generally talking. I'm not sharing anything too deep. Just the surface level. Because we do have for example, we do have a safe space channel on Discord too, for exactly those talks. But at the same time, deeper matters, there's just not the time or the place on social media or any public space. That's stuff for closed doors with professional help. Because as much as I can like share my views and my experiences with you guys, don't nail me on certain things or think like that stuff's gonna help you too, because very much every one of us is different and I am not a professional. So I advise you, if you are concerned, if you have tendencies, if you are maybe having a hunch of, oh, maybe I want to try and find out if maybe, I also have some knickknacks, some conditions. and I want clearance about that, then I advise you very much to seek a professional. Because I saw it on social media, and I see it every now and then, that a lot of people are diagnosing themselves and just throwing out that they are either, like, oh yeah, I have ADHD, I am autistic, or I have autism, this and that. But there is no official diagnosis by a professional. And most people just self-diagnose through the internet, or because of like some videos they saw. Like, you are very much allowed to have a feeling, to have a hunch, to feel like, oh yeah, I feel like, those symptoms, they speak to me in some level. But I think it becomes a little bit problematic if you just claim you have for example, one of these mental illnesses, but without a diagnosis. Because a lot of times it isn't what you're claiming, and it's just, either related to other stuff or just, not in the intensity, because everyone experiences those things different, But if you are sure about those things, then I think there's nothing speaking against, getting a diagnosis, an official. What they're gonna do? They're just gonna confirm your suspicion, right? So I would be very careful with throwing out stuff like that, like, oh yeah, I am this and this and this, like claiming it as official, even though, yeah, there's no diagnosis. I would just advise, for example, to not do that. Yeah. Well, sorry. God, the rambles are so strong, I can't get anything done. My mouth is also getting very dry, like very... You know that feeling of like as if you had cotton in your mouth? And I know that's one of the side symptoms from the medication, but holy shit, man. It's very strong right now. Eddie, it's okay, silly. I'm happy we get on so well, even if we don't talk often. Yeah, and I really appreciate those friendships, I have this talk with one or two, like even with long time friends. I think a friendship isn't really measured by how much you talk on a daily basis or how much you write and exchange things. I think it really shows on the actions, first of all, and even like when time flies by and everyone's having their own life, but when you come back and it feels like as there was no time passed at all, if you can still like pick up things where they were and just act natural around each other, I think that's really when true friendship shines bright. That's at least what I noticed over the years, especially with the things I addressed, with me having issues to like socialize and staying up to date. I really appreciate whenever I'm in voice chat and every now and then, for example, Mona joins, and I'll be super happy and thrilled about it, and we just talk and have a good time, and without feeling like awkward or without feeling disconnected, I guess. Because we just pick up right where we left. Like, it's the same energy, it's the same level of love, It's not like we stopped caring, It's my own fault, girl. You have a condition. Be kind to yourself. We love you. Yeah. As much as I acknowledge it, I still can't help but, fault myself for it, because it's just so in my brain, tight and locked in place. It takes some time to get rid of that belief, that core belief, especially the toxic shit. Like a wise person once said, if you piss in a glass, no matter how much water you add, the piss is not gonna be removed. Same on like mental health. The piss is the toxic shit, the bad experiences, the bad memories, the trauma, all of it. Just because you add a few positive things to water, or routines or habits or even beliefs, it doesn't remove the piss in its core. It's a long process until the piss is completely removed out of the glass. And that kind of made me hopeful. I don't know why it's the analogy of piss that, brings me to that. But when I saw it, I was just like, there was just a moment of like a moment where it's like, oh yeah, makes sense. Instead of being so hard and not understanding why things aren't processing, even though I do so much good and I'm doing so much better and I have a healthy relationship, I have friends that I love and support, I should be fine. But yeah, it doesn't remove the piss from the past decades. So yeah, not the piss glass. Yes, the piss glass. Holy shit, I reply in my head and don't reply in DMs all the time, yeah. And I keep coming in with, I'm so sorry, I thought I replied. Yeah. I just, there's this voice in my head every time, like, oh, you didn't reply. Now they think you just didn't want to communicate. Or just, they're not important that you communicate. Like, oh, no. Stop being so hard on yourself. Witchy. I'll try. It's a process. But I can't help it at times, especially when I'm already like in a not so greater place again, mental health wise. Things just resurface like that. It's just important to keep remind myself that this is not for eternity. It will get better again. Honestly, art streams and more yep coded than chatting streams, lol. Yeah, sometimes they hit. Sometimes I'm like super focused and can do lots of shit. Like, look, I wish I could stream more art, but there's also like my perfectionism comes through a lot of times because, again, I'm being perceived by you guys. And it's not you guys' fault by any means. Like, I love streaming. But sometimes, depending on the mood and, where I am right now, mental-wise, it is a little challenging to draw. Because then I'm like, oh shit, I'm being perceived. This has to be good, right? Same with commissions. I'm so perfectionistic. I want to get things perfect, round, solid, 10 out of 10. Because I do it for others. And not just for myself. Yeah. I mean, that's why I hoped, too, that medication would help me. Because getting constantly sidetracked and flip-flopping between things, not getting things done, setting wrong priorities, falling into rabbit holes instead of just looking that one thing up and just call it done instead of just going down this whole rabbit hole. And now I am looking at how airplanes are crafted, like, what? It's so bad, man. And then at the end of the day, you feel bad for not doing anything. It's like that whole devilish cycle, man. Yeah. I'm going to the psychiatrist again next month. At least it's like a month later, not 2 like last time. And he mentioned too that especially with medication, it would be more wise to see a psychotherapist, right? Because then I could have therapy and have them prescribe medication at the same time. And we could check in weekly and talk about symptoms and, events and what feelings, everything. But alas, the struggle finding a psychotherapist is just like finding a needle in a hay. It is very hard. And depending on where you live, you don't really have much options. Yeah. That's why I like you a lot. You're so direct and blunt. I thank you, Witchy. It means a lot to say that because I very much got a lot of experiences and comments, and whenever I talk to my mom, basically, where it's like getting shamed or being viewed as something bad. That's why I mostly, especially during socializing, I shut up. I don't participate in anything. Also because, oh my god, do we talk about this? If you know, I don't have the best relationship with my mom. Like, we get along, but it's just some core belief that started getting us not getting on one term. And there's just a lot of arguing and hurt feelings and all of that stuff, right? But without going into too much detail. And my god, she recently, we had a sit down because they didn't like, just for clarification again, I live in the house with my mom, my grandma, and my little brother. I mean, not so little. My younger brother, he is very big now. But, the gist. And usually we see each other. I'm in my room, and usually we just see each other when it's dinner time, right? When food time. And they very much talk about everyday stuff, like having small talk, which is fine. I just tend to sit there and listen and just sit. I don't participate in small talk. Again, social cues not working. I hate small talk. I see no point in it. But that's a whole nother debate. And when they talk about things, I listen. But I don't feel the urge to comment on everything, right? I don't think it's necessary. If I have something to say, I say it. But at the same time, if you want my opinion on something, then ask. Then say it. What do you... But don't expect me to read social cues and participate in small talk. Because I don't pick up on that. If you want to know something from me, you need to ask me directly. And we had this whole talk because I was also going through a little bit of a rougher time mentally. That was a couple of weeks back, maybe even a month. It was when I tried the first medication. I was having some really bad side effects, and just being more triggered and everything. And I was just mainly sitting there being quiet because I knew that my stress level was at an all-time low. It was already at 70, and if anything was said or mentioned that could trigger, my stress level peaking, I would lose it. So I stay quiet. Because usually, whenever I talk or participate in the conversation, especially with that group constellation, it always ends up in discussions, in arguments, and I just don't have the energy for that or mental capacity. I'm too tired to argue who is right now and who's wrong and whose opinion is more valid. It tires me out. I love my family, but I really, really hate their urge to always have the higher ground, to always need to be in the right, It's very exhausting. So I shut up. I don't participate. I don't say anything. I just vibe, I eat, I'm done, I go upstairs. And they wanted to have this talk. Because for a couple of weeks, I was just, again, not saying anything. It's this prime example of, oh, when you're not masking and your actual, disabilities and mental illnesses coming through, and then people are all surprised, like, oh, you never did that. Yeah, no shit, I was masking. But now it came through, and I was just not participating. Again, I just didn't feel like I was doing anything different. And it doesn't help that my normal expression is also very much, I look very pissed. I have a resting bitch face. So even if you see me at Dokumi and you think I look pissed, still approach me. That's just my normal expression, okay? I just have a resting bitch face. Especially when I'm under stress. And they were sitting down and they were like, it was this discussion again. It's just like a reoccurring thing and it just gets tiring. Me explaining and then not listening, right? And they started it off by saying some stuff like, oh, well, we noticed you don't really talk to us anymore. You're just quiet, you just eat, and then you go upstairs, and then you barely interact with us anymore. It's just like all that shtick. And I was just like, That's just something they do, especially my mom. My mom takes a lot of things very personally. Which is not a healthy trait at all. But as we all know, all of my family, they're like, we don't need therapy. We are perfectly fine. So yeah, even if I try to reflect and tell them and show them or explain to them like, oh, well, for me, it's just like this and that. They claim to be understanding and stuff. And I want to believe them. But then in moments like these, and I guess it's just like a generational thing too. And I mean, they said so at the clinic, especially with parents who have like very strong core beliefs and have this certain view on you. Because again, they raised you and everything. If they have this very certain view of you, especially within a household that's like very abusive, very toxic, usually parents do not want to self-reflect and think they did something wrong. Again, very different from parent to parent. Just saying what my parents' point of this is. And both of my parents are very much having their own bubbles and own beliefs and think they know more because, oh, well, we are older, we know more, basically argument, right? And I know they want to sprinkle in the, oh, we understand, oh, we are still supporting. They say these on one hand, but on the other hand, they say and do things that are completely contradicting with that. And just leave me at a more hurt state where I'm like, you didn't have to say that, or you don't have to understand. You just have to accept it, okay? That's all I'm asking for. Even if you're like, yeah, but I don't understand. It's okay, you don't need to understand it. Very much, I do not wish these things upon anyone, because it's not a happy-go-lucky life if you have these things as bag behind you, but at the same time, don't invalidate my feelings. Don't tell me that no, it isn't like that, or no, it's not hard like this, or it shouldn't be an issue like that. Like, yeah, for you, again, your views, your opinion, your experiences, very valid. I don't attack them, but don't project it onto me, because I very much am my own person and have my own strengths, weaknesses, stuff. And even if you don't understand it, that's okay. Just accept it. Just don't try to force anything. And basically, at this whole talk, I don't go too much into detail because it was like very long and addressing a lot of unnecessary things. And one of the arguments that I heard so many times is, especially from my parents and, for example, my father's partner, like the argument of, oh, when you're downstairs, you're so quiet, so sad, you have that expression on your face, you know, but as soon as you're upstairs, you're laughing and you're having fun apparently. Like, we don't understand why, you know, you are so different when you are downstairs or with us, basically. And this, in its core, even if they don't say it directly, but in its core, that's how my experiences are. With every time I hear the sentence, it's just the same core that's speaking from it, basically saying, oh well, but you're laughing upstairs, so you say you're depressed but you're laughing, right? You have fun, you talk to people, what's the issue? Apparently it's not that bad, right? Because I'm laughing. And maybe there was no maliciousness in that sentence, or they didn't mean to hurt me by saying that. I know they're just stating things that they see, hear, whatever. But at the same time, it's fucking hurtful. Because you're just assuming, I guess, that I'm just so happy. I'm just so unbothered by things when I'm upstairs and talking to friends or my partner. Like basically saying like, oh, can't be that bad, right? Because you're laughing. And I hate that argument whenever people say, oh, well, they can't feel that bad. Because look, they're happy. They're not struggling. They get shit done, etc., right? And I don't feel like I have to explain to them the basics of, just because someone's not displaying pure depression, sadness, anger, like basically breaking down in front of you, just because someone isn't showing those things in front of you or at the consistency, it doesn't mean that they're still, it doesn't mean that they're not suffering, right? They still very much have their own struggles. You should never assume based on what the outside looks like. I feel like it's so basic, right? And then just putting it up as like an argument, like, oh well, but when you're downstairs, you don't talk. Well, I don't get it. I really don't get it, man. Like, another argument or another point she brought up was how she doesn't she doesn't know what's going on in my life. I never tell her about anything that's going on that I'm working on and stuff. How I'm basically not communicating anything that's happening. And again, I was trying to explain to her, well, if you want to know something, just ask me. Well, no. And this is how she said it, okay? I said those things, right? I said, like, well, if you want to know something, then just ask. And she looks at me and like, yeah, but I just don't understand why you can't just say it. And I was like, again, social cues don't work on me. I don't do small talk. I can't. My mom again? But I don't know. Why can't you just say... It's talking to a wall, right? And I try again. And of course, every time I have to repeat myself, I get a little louder. I get a little more irritated because I'm telling you the answer. If you are not actively listening and accepting my answer for what it is not my fault for you not understanding. I said the answer. Just because you can't make peace with it or you think it's not worthy of an explanation, it doesn't matter. I give you the answer, and if you don't accept that or listen to that, then that's your fault. I gave you the answer. Don't be like, oh, she never told me. Like, this whole fucking argument, man. And it's always like these things that repeat themselves every couple months where they sit down with me and they have this talk about basically, oh, why are you behaving like this and that? And it's always me saying, well, hello, it's my mental illness. It's this and this and this. I don't think I am at it's my responsibility to educate them on, my shit. Because I told them, if you want to do the research yourself on, I don't know, ADHD, autism, borderline, you can do so. You can do so. You can ask me about things. I happily answer if you are like, oh, well, I read about this and that. Does that apply to you too? It's so basic. It's not getting in my head how such a Rubik's Cube level of difficulty for them to solve. Like, they're like, oh, we don't know. And I'm giving them the solution. And they're like, no, but we don't know. It's like, and I am just so exhausted. Just having to repeat myself constantly. I was even thinking about recording a video of a user manual on how to handle me. What certain elements mean, like how to be around Letty, how to read Letty's cues, or how to read certain things, and just every time they bring something up they don't understand, I'm like, here, there's your answer. Why I acted or behaved that way. There you go. And just to anyone, basically. It's just, mentioning the basic stuff. And whenever someone's asking me about things, I can just show them the video. I'm just so tired of having this talk. Because, again, it's not that they're really concerned about me as a person or my struggles. They are more concerned with how I act around them and that they are not happy. They are feeling hurt. They are feeling like, oh, well, you don't talk to us. I'm hurt. Like, okay, I gave you the solution. You just have to talk to me, And Maybe you should read the signs that if I don't talk to you about things like I did in the past, maybe it's because you are, how to say, maybe you are triggering some things, or again, say things, display behavior that is just hurting me, and I am not up for that, right? My mom, she's like, oh, what, if you struggle or if there's something on your mind, you can always talk to me. Also, my mom, whenever I talk about something, turns everything into a competition, makes it about herself, doesn't listen, invalidates me, questioning my behavior and what, like, I wonder why I don't talk to you about these things. Like, whenever it comes to my dad, I just stopped talking to her about it. And I don't participate in these conversations because my mom very much, for the longest time, used me as a dump for her emotional talk about my dad, because they are divorced since a couple years. And whenever we talked, she was like talking very badly about my dad and just framing him for things, or just making it a little a little very hateful, very spiteful comments. And I always tried to be the middleman in this family. Even back then, I tried to be the moderator who tries to see all sides in a neutral light. And I know a kid shouldn't have to solve fighting between parents and stuff. I know that very much. I'm not responsible for how this whole constellation was falling in my family. I mean, I was also not there when it happened, like the past 7 years again. I was not living at home. I was very cut off from my family. I didn't hear or see shit. And then it just all came whenever I visit, right? It all came to surface. But also, for the longest time, they pretended everything was fine when I visited. So, again, it's... And I started just not engaging in that. And whenever she starts talking about my dad, I'm just like shutting her off. Like, hey, it's you, because she's also repeating a lot of stuff, right? And for someone who says, oh, well, it takes two sides, you know, in a failed marriage and a failed whatever. For someone who says that, she's also like only tramping on my dad and his actions. And whenever I bring up her actions, she gets angry with me, like, well, but your dad did this and this. And like, it's not a competition, my dear. It is very much not a competition of who did what and worse. Like, you say it's equally, but at the same time, whenever I bring something up you did, you're getting offended. Like, but you see what I mean? Like the double moral. What is it called? I just hate that. I just had double morals when people complain about that one thing, but at the same time are doing that very exact thing. Like, man, I don't know. And it just evolved to, yeah, just her being so, yeah, hateful and spiteful about that. And like, as a woman, I can feel for her, I can understand her. But as a daughter, please don't use me as your emotional dumpster and throw those things at me. Because at the end, it's also still my dad you're talking about. And I want to keep that neutral perspective on both of you. And you turning things and just like twisting, because she does that a lot too. She twists like things to her own narrative. She did that with stuff I and my brother said too, and every time we call her out for it, she gets like all quiet and but it's just like those unhealthy things where I'm like, it would be best to talk about that in therapy instead of like, you know, talking to your child about that, having someone unbiased view those things and help you process shit. But again, my family, every time I bring up therapy, they're like, oh no, we're good. We're healthy. Nothing wrong with us. Okay, if you say so, I'm not forcing anyone. But at the same time, please respect, you know, my shit. Man, this became a whole TED talk, sorry. Oh, sorry, which I didn't see. Yeah, that's a little odd. Yeah, I heard about that drama. Makes me nervous to do stuff like that. I really want to do it though. Oh no. No, I think I think it was because of the TOS stuff, right? I think you're very much good to go if you are very transparent in your TOS. You know what I mean? Because then you were very transparent about it and mentioned everything. Like, you're not charging anyone with like an unexpected fee or additional cost. Like, people know what they're paying for. And I think that's, as long as you mention it, or you have it up in your commission services, at least on Regen, like in the little introduction thing, next to the prices or anything, like that's more than fine, right? I think people just tend to make a fuss, a big of a fuss out of small things that could like easily be solved if we just, you know, listen to each other's sides and then agree on a better way to approach this, instead of just doing those two camps and just trying to have the high ground, so to say. I don't think that's helping anyone. Asking for transparency is totally valid to me, as long as it's approach policy. Yeah. Oh, politely, sorry. Yeah. And even if you have it in your TOS and someone is like, no, I don't want to pay that, then that's okay. Like, at the same time, you don't need to cut your prices or your hard work. Like, you very much still have the right to charge what you want and what you think is worth your art. You still are able to do that. Like, it doesn't mean that you have to cut your prices now to fit the broader range of people, because again, art is still a luxury. I just think if you are having very relatively high prices, it's just coming with the realization that not a lot of people might be able to afford this, right? You can still charge those prices, but at the same time, you need to be aware that not everyone can afford. Does that mean you should like make your prices ridiculously low? No, you can still charge what you want. You can offer sales. You can do a lot of things about it. I don't think you should undersell yourself, but at the same time, if you ask for relatively high prices, you just have to acknowledge these things, That's why I had my emotes on like, I think it was $15 for the longest time. When I started out, I offered emotes for like $5. But that's okay. Like, I measured the price based on my level of skill, right? I measure it by that, by how much effort I put into them and what the quality I bring, how much work it takes me to put into these, right? And I love to still have prices that are not ridiculously high, because I know I have very detailed emotes compared to maybe some others. It's just a very certain style to my emotes that's not just flat colors. Nothing wrong with that, of course. I'm just saying. But even though technically I could charge more because they are very detailed emotes, they have detailed shading, etc., I still wouldn't feel comfortable doing so, because at the end of the day, to me, it's still emotes. And for me, it's not like I have a huge workload with these. I get them done relatively quickly because I'm just, I just have a good workflow with them. And I don't think I should charge more just for the details, because that's just my style, right? But that's my opinion again. Which is why I would never charge more than what I charge right now, $30. I think that's very much okay. It's still a lot to some, yes. But yeah, compared to my older emotes that I offered for 20, it felt needed to adjust the prices just a little bit, because also, again, my situation, I still have to earn money to pay bills. Again. But at the same time, I don't think it's very reasonable or customer friendly to, just because I am in need of customers or to support my bills, to finance my bills, I can't make it, even with my work ethic, to charge big numbers. You know what I mean? Like, I still feel like, due to my shit and not being very, not producing at rapid pace, like I still, have some issues. I still think it's okay to charge what I charge right now. I don't know. And sometimes you just have to live with, a month or two, or maybe even 3. I don't know. That's just the curse and blessing of freelancer life. Same with any freelancer, even tattoo artists, right? On one month, you can have X amount of clients, on the other, even less than X amount of clients. Yes, you still need to pay your bills, but you just have to acknowledge that. And to everyone who is maybe like a smaller artist, and doesn't have that much of a reach, or is just starting out in commissions, I would very much advise to not have it as a main income, and look for an alternative to have like a set income, right? Especially if you're like having to pay bills, rent, food. I think for the start, it would be very much making sense to have a set income, whether it be a mini job or a part-time job. Maybe even living with your parents, like me, if this, the whole the vibe is okay. But those are just things, and because if the thing you love becomes your main income and the main thing that pays, for you to survive, there will be a little bittersweet taste to it, right? Like, for example, I am getting financial support from the government. It is by far not much as if I would make with, working part-time, full-time. But at the moment, I'm just in not really a place where I am able to work, but I am able to get financial support. And this helps me out a lot. I don't have to stress about not being able to pay bills every month, because luckily the amount I get covers like the set bills every month, like car, phone, insurance. It covers that, luckily. I don't have anything else left to spend then, but that's okay as long as it eases my mind for that. Just unexpected bills or things happening, I just have to see how I can take care of it. Maybe pay it off in in parts. Yeah. Or opening up commissions. But for the short amount of time, I was just purely having to pay everything from art. It was stressing me out so hard. Like, it was burning me out in some way creatively, and I was just starting to not draw as much on like a private basis, like stop drawing for myself and only drew commissions, because I was like, I need to get this done, I need to pay the bills. And it's just, I think it's just a double-edged sword, as cool as it can be. You also have to make sure that you and your mental health and physical health are able to handle these levels of stress. If not, or definitely if you're like starting out, don't have regular clients showing up each month, or make as much that you can support just having it as a main income, I would very much recommend having another option on the side that helps you support yourself, you know. Even if it's like asking the government for financial support or unemployment benefits or anything, right? Some way. Because you have to understand that as much as we love clients and as much as we appreciate clients, they also have their own bills to pay and their own life to live. We can't just purely, I think I can't purely just expect others to help my financial situation, you know? I feel like I'm very much responsible for that on my own. And I shouldn't, have, what's the word I'm looking for? Be putting my ability to I don't know, live life in others who also have shit to handle on their own. Yeah. Hi, Lee. I saw you in my recommended. I wanted to stop and say hi. Hello. I'm sorry. We're having a little rambling session and I'm not getting anything done and I have to go in like an hour. Yeah, it's a curse. Yeah. Ever since I am getting financial support, it has eased my mind and I have a more not so stressful view on art. Right? Like, of course, perfectionism is still there and stuff, but in moments where maybe there are no clients this month, or, you know, I don't hold it against anyone, by all means, you know. But again, it's like those things you have to calculate when you don't have many clients and you can't pay bills. It's just always good to have another option, and I'm glad I have that. Just, yeah. It comes with its benefits and restrictions. Yeah, it's just how it goes. Trying to make the best out of it. Because, I mean, I could just throw myself into a 9-to-5 job again, a part-time job. And I'm still thinking about maybe returning to one. Somewhat in the future. Maybe if I'm a little more stable and actually had some therapy and have some medication that helps me stay, you know, persistent. I don't know. Just have some shit done. Because everyone's preaching to me, oh, take your time, focus on mental health first. And I would very much like to do that. But life doesn't, you know, give two shits about that. And you still have to pay for shit and bills. So that's just always in the back of my brain. How's it going? Going good. Having a lot of rambling. How do we draw? I mean, I'm drawing my Batbie right now, but did we even give them a body? Wait. I don't think they even have a body. They're just a bean. I really need to work on a design for you guys. And I'll definitely draw one for Taco then for free. So you got the service even though maybe it was just not smart for me for offering that, while at the same time I don't really have a set design right now. I keep flip-flopping between things. Yeah. That's on my end. Oh no. The burpees are taking over. Maybe I should put up his reference sheet. Man, 2.5 hours in, we haven't gotten shit done. I haven't heard the song in a while. Ah, yeah. It's going through random Spoopify playlist. Ah, the safe check, thank you. Even though we haven't done much. Ko-fi. Let me see. Did I save Taco's references? Maybe. Yes. I listen to the most randomly stuff. I can go from folk song to Russian rock song and post-punk. Hell yeah! Do you guys also hate whenever the question comes up of, oh, what music are you listening to? And I'm just like, freeze on the spot, like, all kinds of stuff. Like, oh no, what specific like artist or genre are you listening to? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know most artists by their name. I just like their song. It is such a clusterfuck of all kinds of genres. So whenever someone asks me that, I just show them my Spotify. Like, same with like when people ask you those things, all of a sudden it's like your brain factory resets and all of the answers that are clear are just like boop, boop, gone. Everything, all of it, I will put on breakcore for for no other reason because I want to listen to something different. Yeah. I also like very much vary what music I'm listening to depending on what I'm doing. If I'm playing games, or if I'm studying, or if I'm cleaning. When I'm cleaning, I'm mostly listening to the Sims soundtrack of house building. If you know, you know. Or for drawing, even depending on what kind of thing I'm drawing, what kind of mood I'm drawing or character, it very much differs to what I'm listening to also like get in the zone, you know. Oh, sorry, Mr. Tease, I missed it. Thank you. Wait. Wait, before I forget. chatting. Have a good night. Oh, you're still awake. I'm sorry. Did you just ask me what I did when I was 5 or what my music taste is? Yeah. There was one time my friend and I were in an argument and I turned on Disney music to drown him out after it was done. Let's fucking go. Okay, Taco. Oh, we should maybe do his new design because he has glasses now. Did I give them eyes, really? Not really. So I am going a little bit into hyper focus. Sorry if I miss anything. Maybe we could include his necklace. Because the Batbies are very much naked. I never gave them clothing. Oh, thank you for the phone. So close to being done my essay. Oh, let's go. Godspeed. Putting all the energy into the last bit. I think we can only do the sketch. I'm sorry, I yapped too much, Taco. I definitely want to talk about the medication with my psychiatrist next month. And maybe see if we should either up the doses and see if that helps. It's again try and error. I love it. Or if we try out something else again. Trying to stay positive and hopeful. It's a little hard, but yeah. We're trying. I knew from the beginning this would be like a process that just takes time. Why did I never give them legs? Now that I think about it. Maybe we gave them little stumps. Stumps are always cool. We love stumps in this house. Okay, we have 40 more minutes. Only 900 more words. Oh my god, that's a lot of words. But you got this. You got this. It's just a lot of words to me. I'm an illiterate beach. You got this. I think I would keep it very simple. Why do I keep getting messages? Hold on. I'm just checking if everything's okay. Okay. Just I'll be messaging. I'm in history, so lots of writing. Oh, but history is so cool, though. I wish we had more of it in school, but we mainly just focused on one era and never talked about anything else, so it was kind of, I don't know, a little boring. Instead of this tail, we gonna give him the little floofy tail. How are we gonna do the flow though? Maybe like this. For the drugs. Maybe we could even do a little karaoke on my birthday. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how anxious I am on that day. That's something I would love to do too in the future. I'm just too self-conscious about my voice. As always, same with talking. But especially with singing, man. I really like singing, but I'm just a little terrified of singing in front of people. I just like my little shower sessions of singing. Or even in voice chat, just brain rot taking over, you know. But I would very much like to practice that too and get a little better at it. Because right now my vocal range is not the best, and I get short on breath very easily. I know that's also tied to, you know, certain condition, but I believe it's with a little practice it could get better. But yeah, that's also something. It's just hard to get started on new things. Especially when you don't know where to start. And as much as it would be cool to have like a teacher, a tutor, again, that would cost money too. So I guess we're just gonna start with doing daily vocals, making sure, I mean, that's something I definitely wanna try and improve too, like not drink too many energy drinks or not eat too much sugar or consume too much sugar, you know. I was so fucking hyped when I saw Tina's first cover. Oh my goodness. Have you seen on her debut? Like, it was so good. Holy shit. I cried a little. Tina's so cool, man. But even her, who said she would never do covers. I'm glad she did. She has a great voice. Want to give him a little coffee. Damn, getting more done than the last 2 hours. Classical. Why is perspective so hard on objects, man? Here we are. This could also move a little bit forward. I don't know if you could include or is that too much? Yeah, I think I wouldn't overcomplicate things. Don't know about the hair clips, but we could add the witchy. So figuring out that it would be too much. over, you know, over throw this thing. I thought about maybe adding this little belt too, but I think that would be too much. We'll just see in the coloring stages. Maybe without. I'll look in the coloring stage. Yeah, I think this is okay for now. Now we could see if we make this part black like his pants. Maybe. Okay. It's a coffee bean, guys. even though it looks like a, I don't know, a little squished peach. It's a coffee bean. Maybe we can do some rough colors. We still have time. I love you, little chibis. I think I like coffee too much because every time I see your pancake, I think of a little coffee bean. I know. Maybe a little coffee as a treat, which is just a little, you know. But yeah, it's I wonder how you guys will like the new color palette. We're still having the core elements of, like, you know, brown, because after all, I'm a brown bat. Again, brown, white, black. Wait, what did I say? Brown, white, black, yeah. And little highlights again of red. But just having them, yeah, a little different percentage. Can't wait to sketch it down because I have so many ideas in my brain, but I haven't really, like, you know, put anything to paper yet. I just took his hair color for this. I think that's violet. Just roughly, so future me has an idea what the fuck is going on or what I was thinking. Do you ever look back at, like, your old sketches and you're like, man, what the fuck? What the fuck was that? What was the thought process? What does this light mean? What does that lead to? Like, my god. Every time. You know, a prime example of this I have, past me, I want to shake you violently. Because I had sketched a comic skit, I guess. Is it here? Yeah. It's called Therapy, July 2024. And I stumbled upon this, like, recently again, like, oh, damn, what is this? And I opened it, and it was like this whole comic. I don't know why it is this, this format, but it's a whole comic strip, apparently, of a therapy session I had. And you have, like, I mean, I still like the flow of these. I still like the proportions and everything. Like, you can see, I had, like, the conversation apparently sketched out. I love her so much. Look at little Letty here. Ah! I still really like that. But as you can see, all those thought bubbles are empty, or speech bubbles. Because past me was probably thinking, oh yeah, I'll add that when I render it. That's the only text I got. And now I look back at it like, I don't remember what the conversation was about. I don't remember what was said. Past me, why didn't you at least write it down messy? Like, I didn't have to use the whole text thing yet, but at least. And now I can never, like, work on this again because I don't know how the conversation went. I don't remember. I knew it was something about my perfectionism and something related or originated from, like, my dad, apparently. Yeah. I guess we will never see that one again. Man, sometimes I want to shake past me. Like, what were you thinking? Why didn't you just take those 10 minutes and write it down? I mean, I should have known that I will forget. I should know me by this point. My or it's either like sketches where I look at like the sketch lines and I'm like, huh? Where does this go? Where what? Like not understanding my thought process at all. I'm just color picking a couple things, yeah. Ooh. Scott Burnham, 1985. Scott. He had a gradient to his tail. Okay. If I could be anybody, dead or alive, I would wanna be my dad in 1985. Taco would look kinda good as bad. Time to pull him over to the dark side. Already time. Let's go. Screen picker, my beloved. You know what I don't know, the song kind of brought it up. You know what I saw lately that made me chuckle, and I showed it my mom because she also preaches that shit to me. You know, with borderline, there's like this emotional dependency on their partner. Of course, having different levels of that. But for me, I'm like like my emotional state very much depends on how my partner's is and how he treats me and everything, and just like very much define myself through my partner. I know it's not a super healthy thing to do, and I'm still my own person. But yeah, it's just also how I am coded. It's still stuff that comes through occasionally, and yeah. But I'm glad that TZ is helping me like with healing so much. He has been nothing but understanding and supportive since day one. And maybe, yeah, he has a better understanding of things or can read things clearer, because he also like has this history of mental health shit. So he very much can relate to a lot of things, especially with ADHD. But it's also very sweet how he still encourages me and can sense when I'm overthinking, for example, or when mood swings happen, and just adjust himself to the situation and help me calm down. I think that's very, very nice, you know. And I saw this thing because you know, a lot of people like my mom or like even the psychologist, even though he said he knows that, you know, due to borderline, it's not like it doesn't come naturally. It takes a lot of work, and it's something that I may not have like full control over. That the emotional dependency on others, like friends, family, partner, that just comes with it. But I should still try and, you know, try and do things for myself and value, define my value by myself and my actions and my things, you know. And you know, he's right on that. But again, what my mom took from this when we left, she was like, yeah, you hear that? Don't depend so much on others. You need to get stuff done by your own, right? Like this, the judgment throwing in there again. Like, yeah, but also did you hear the part where he said, it's not like I have full control over it, and it's just a condition that just comes with my mental illness? Why do you think I stayed in a toxic relationship for 7 years? Certainly not because I was so in fucking love and I was so happy all the time, but because I was scared of abandonment and fear of abandonment and being alone, that I'd rather stayed with a person than being alone by my own. After that, I had to learn how to take care of myself again. After that relationship, man. And it's still hard. Like, it's like those things when I have no issues doing things or asking for stuff or even taking calls or cooking or cleaning for others, for my partner, for example, or here. Like, I have no issue with that. But when it's related to I should cook for myself, I should clean up for myself, I should do calls and take care of things for myself, it's all of a sudden it's like black and white, right? It's completely switched, and it's immediately 1,000 times harder to do, as if I would do it for, you know, friends and my partner. Yeah. And then I saw this thing where it said, you know, when people say don't depend so much on your man, or don't make yourself dependent, what's it called, depending from your partner, like, no, sweetie, you can't depend on your man. My man is always there for me. Like, and I just had to show that to her, but yeah, she didn't pick it up. She was again making it about herself. Yeah. Oh well. Again, she can have those views and feel about those things a certain way, but again, just because you think it's your belief or your moral or whatever, don't project that onto me. That goes for everyone. yeah, that's just how it be. Oh, look, I come back. Thank you for the drink and stretch. I did take a sippy. Oh, we should probably also... Oh, sorry. Did you hear that? My bad. We should maybe... It's the Spezi, I'm sorry. Maybe pause rates, because we're not gonna continue much longer. Time's running out. I need to pack some stuff and get ready to drive. Because we have like an hour of driving ahead of us. Maybe, hopefully, things will change in that matter too. I'm glad that TZ offered to be there when we sit down with my mom and talk about that certain matter, because he knows how my mom can be, and having someone at my side who supports me, I think that's very, very sweet of him. And I don't know, do you know that when like we have people over, or it's just like in public, your parents become complete different persons? Like they're just their personality to not be viewed negatively by others. At least that's just how my mom is. She does a complete 180 when there's people around who could view her in a negative light by what she says or does. And whenever you talk about those things, she's like, I never said that. I never did that. Yes, you did. Yeah. And then we talk about the hopeful possibility, because again, I love my family, but staying here in this household is doing more damage than good to me mentally. And I think a first good step to work towards, again, recovering, focusing on my mental health, is for me to be in an environment first where I can feel safe. And I don't feel safe here. So we were thinking, since we don't know, the whole like renting situation and house, and whatever. I mean, house is so far off, but like living in an apartment or finding an apartment in the first place is, my God, near impossible. It turned into like a whole gacha system, and especially if you don't have a set income, like if you don't work like me, have an official job, you're mostly looked upon like, no, sorry, we don't want that. Yeah. So we don't know when we will have the opportunity to move in together into a new apartment. It could be this year. It could also be next year. It could also be 2 years from now. Who knows? But the fact is, every time I am here, my mental health hits rock bottom again. And it's like a complete reset. And maybe I haven't noticed that much of a drastic change before, because I didn't have that other perspective, right? Before TZ, I thought all of this was normal. That's just normal, parents, that's just normal how they act around their kids. Everyone experienced that, right? Until TZ showed me a whole new perspective of how I also can get treated, with respect, with validation, with love and care. And now every time I visit him and I come back, I just have this harsh cut of, two realities, where I just notice these things more here. Because I have that comparison now of how it can be and I don't have to put up with, being treated that way. So we were thinking of me moving in at his place still, even if we don't have a place yet where we can move in together. We would still, of course, look for that. But I could already be at his place, and have an easier time, and it would also be better for me mentally and for him certainly as well. And I think that would be the main priority right now, because staying here is just not it, man. As much as I love my family, but I'd rather move in with someone who treats me with respect and doesn't shame me for me or my shit going on. It's okay to do healthy boundaries and stuff. Let's send that to tackle, and then we're done. Yeah, and so, sorry, to get to the point, he was offering I could move in with him, even though his space is very small. I think we talked about it on the last art stream, and I drew it. It's like a one-room apartment, and he himself has barely space. I mean, I don't have much belongings. I think the only big, quote-unquote, big thing I own is my desk. And even that, we will have to see how we fit things in there and how we manage that whole situation. But it will be worth it, even if it is gonna be very, very cramped, very little space. I think it's still worth it if I can live with a person who helps me and supports me and knows me for who I am. I think that's all worth it. I can overlook not having a separate room for my desk, or because that's all that for the future. We can look into that whenever we can save up for an apartment and look for an apartment, for the future. But for now, we want to see if I can move in at his place, maybe even end of July. Somewhere around that time. Alternatively, also like each time I visit, taking boxes each by each, so I don't have to pack like all the things at once, right? And I just little steppies I already take to his place. That's the plan. But yeah, I am fucking fearing that conversation with my mom, because I very much know how she feels about that, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna whip out the good old guilt trippy, making me feel bad for shit kind of tactic, which is probably gonna remind me of like my past relationship and like how that didn't work out when I moved away. It's like, yeah, but this is different, first of all. And even then, back in the day, I was like, I barely turned 18 when I moved out for the first time. And I don't feel like I have to justify why I move out or present them a reasonable enough, argument why I move out. Like, I do not live here to please your needs, first of all. And since she always on my butt of, oh, you need to make sure to get on track, and you need to make sure you can handle things on your own, like finances and stuff. What if I can't help you anymore? First of all, you don't help me at all, financial. And second of all, when I move out, I can notice the support I get right now, the financial support, and tell them, hey, I moved out. I live with my partner. My household only contains 2 people now of just one generation. Because the whole wage, like the whole amount of money I get right now, is also so little. Not only because they measure it on my last income I got, like from my job, the last earning, but also they are like, well, you live in a household of 3 generations. You live with your grandma, your mother, and your brother. We're not counting my brother in there now because he's still also going for education. But they were like, well, since we all got the documents of, like, you know, the bank accounts and stuff from all your family members, we can see that your mother can, especially my mother, can very much support me financially. Therefore, they are not gonna send me as much money because, you know, the argument of you're not that much in need, because if you need help, your family can help you out, basically, right? But if I move out and I have to pay rent, right? I mean, I will help TZ pay rent. I will not accept him carrying all the costs. But I can then argument, like, I have to pay rent, right? And then it could also increase. And then I have money. See, Mom, I did take care of it. I'm doing the things you shamed me for and asked me to, like, oh, you need to make sure you also, like, get your shit together and make sure your financial situation is getting settled and go back to normal. Like, yeah, Mom, I will. Because, yeah, you very much did not help at all. She's very egocentric in that point. That's okay. I'm not gonna be like, you, oh, Mom, you have to pay for all my bills. It's just like, whenever I was on tight end and you know, I was still trying to reel in the money from commissions and stuff for unexpected bills, like dentist bill. I was asking her for her help because, again, if you don't pay the bill in time, it's gonna increase and increase and increase. And every time they send a letter, like, oh, you didn't pay, so we increased the cost again, you need to pay. Like, so that's the only time I asked her to help me. And even then, she's like, okay, here's the papers. You're gonna pay me till November each month, like $50, you know, transaction on bank account until it's paid off. Like, okay, fine, that's fine. I don't argue with that, but at the same time, again, I don't have or I don't receive that much money. So every time there is an additional monthly cost I have to carry, it's gonna get tighter on my end if unexpected bills like car, like dentist, medication, anything, it's just gonna get harder to take on these things. We could have also, instead of $50, could have gone down to, I don't know, 20. Yeah, maybe it would take longer to pay it off, but then it would be a little bit more, you know, easier for me to handle these things, because at the same time she's like, oh, but you get so much money from them. Like, no, it's not that much. And when I tell her the numbers, and she's basically like, oh, but it's not that bad. You still have some left at the end of the month, like around 200-ish. You still have around that much money a month after all, you know, the monthly transactions, bills I have to pay consistently. Mom, it's not that much, okay? If I would have to pay rent or groceries, I would not survive. First of all. To say, like, oh, you're so privileged, you're unemployed and you get benefit, right? It's still so much. Like, no. There just has to be one bill incoming over that price, right? Over the 200, and I'm fucked. Ah, man. But yeah, this woman is just, she just has become so delulu over the time. I just basically stopped having reasonable talks with her. Because I know the only way she sees is her way, and everything else is just non-valid, non-true. Yeah, and I'm not having those discussions again. But I'm glad TZ joins me for that talk, because he will be the only one who's, so to say, on my side in this household. Ah, man. And it's gonna be on my birthday too, when he comes visit, and we have that talk. So we're set up for a good time. Whee! Ah, man. But you know what? I'm looking forward to Dokomi. I'm looking forward to see all of you guys. I'm very excited, but also very anxious. Okay. Before we enter another rabbit hole of rambling, I'm sorry for so much yapping today. I'm back from buying clothes and food. Wow! Let's go! How was your trip? I hope you had a good time. Not too stressful. Making your mascot? This is a custom design of technically our mascot. I still want to do a cool new design with like the new design of mine. So you Batbies also have a cool design. This is basically just a bat. Like there's no cool I don't know. There's just no cool way of a unique way of how I draw the mascot. It's just basically a Dragon Quest Draki modified a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. That was like the OG one of the mascot. We need to do something else. I want to do something cool. And basically, Takao got the one of the higher tiers of Ko-Fi, which gives you a custom design of the mascot, and that's why I worked on right now. It's been a while, like a couple days since he purchased it, and I'm very sorry for being so slow. I know he's probably fine with it, and he tells me not to apologize, but I still feel bad. The past couple of days were a little rough, but it doesn't excuse, me not being able to provide something I promised. But I also wanted to make sure I work on it in a good state, so I give the best quality results. Yeah, and that's basically his character turned into a custom Batbie. Yeah, at least a sketch. We're gonna touch that up a little bit more again. But I'm running out of time and I need to pack things. I have to drive in like roughly 30 minutes. And I still need to pack my bag and everything. But, again, I will keep you guys updated on the Discord, if anything. I will probably use these couple days I stay at my partner's place to take care of some adult shit, mostly talk to insurances and handling everything, and just running after people again, basically. Yeah, and maybe stream with him together, because he also is recently got into streaming and he wants to try, even though he still has a full-time job and ADHD hitting, energy levels being different from day to day. But he likes streaming and he wants to give it a try. Whenever he comes home from work or has a day off, usually Sunday, because he works like 6 days a week, and just, try it out. And I'm very much supporting him and his streams. And maybe, because he was talking about that yesterday, he has a game, story-based game, basically. He would like to try on stream or stream it in general. But it's in German, so I don't know. If you don't mind the language barrier, or if you're bilingual like me and you can also speak German, feel free to come by, because I'm pretty sure we will then, stream a little bit here and there, and you can hear me in the background, or maybe, playing this game together, me just reading some parts, him reading some parts. Wow, I can hear myself. But yeah, basically that. Here's his Twitch if you want to follow. I'll post it on the Discord too when we go live. If you guys want to show some love and support, that would be very sweet. But of course, you don't have to if, again, it's language barrier and stuff, you know? But if you still do, I would appreciate that. And I think that's very, very kind of you. I definitely want to do a design for him too, and a PNG too to start with. Just a little image of him in the corner. He's very excited about that and me doing his design. So look forward to it. It's definitely something that I want to do this year too. Pray for me and my energy. Other than that, yeah, the Discord I shared. Thank you for being here. Even though we didn't get much done and we were mostly yapping, I still appreciate you being here. Thank you for your time and for all the chatting and nice comments and for love and support. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Tomorrow is still work day, but I still hope you have a good, start into the weekend tomorrow. Make sure to do some self-care. Relax a bit, play games, draw, whatever you want to do. I love you guys. Take care. And I'll see you next week again. Okay? I should be back on Sunday because I have to go to car insurance on Monday. Suffering. Okay. Take care, everyone. We're gonna rate Taka, okay? The beautiful bean we just draw at Batbie off. Okay, go show some support because he's amazing. Mwah!